Hi, everyone. It's good to see you again. It's Tim, the Ranting Blue Penguin with Omaha Club Flush here. And finally, after a long delay, long anticipation, we've got AFC Omaha of the Midwest Premier League on the line. We got Pat Roode, founder, head coach, all around good guy. California brought them out here and established them in Omaha. And we are excited to get a season started here in 5 days. Pat, thanks for coming on for me.
Thank you, Tim. I appreciate your time very much. Very
Yeah.
much.
Like I said, AFC Omaha, but you started as AFC South Bay, back over in California there, and but you kept the same branding and you kept the same thing. So recognizable, a couple of symbols. What can you tell me really just about the club in general, and then we can go into kind of some of the symbolism and some of the history and everything else behind it. So just in your own words, how would you describe AFC Omaha?
Well, we're a club that plays at the semi-professional level, here to help players that are looking for the gap between what it is in their club and college levels on their way to the professional level. We recognize that very few, unfortunately, at the time, as more clubs come about, there'll be more professionals there, but very few players are able to make it professionally. Our goal is to provide an opportunity for the players to be able to experience something that is professional level without, again, having that same idea that they have to push to that distance. The idea is that what we do here, we want to make sure that the players again are training consistently. The players are training with the idea that they want to move forward with progress and better themselves. What that is we want to set those standards at the highest level. They may not, again, we set that bar where there's a standards, understanding that you may not make it professionally, but you still want to give your best effort to be the best that you can be. I know that sounds very cliche to many. That sounds something like out of a Rocky movie. At the same time, we really do believe that that's what builds the best people. And we want the people that come into our organization to be able to develop themselves first and foremost as those people. The experience itself, we want to be able to provide for them. Again, recognizing that very few are able to play professionally, so we want to provide that great experience for them. The dedication, commitment that they have to their training, to their schedule, to their own self improvement is what we want them to recognize. And that's kind of what we stand for. When it comes to everything else at the end of that process, what we see is that's where winning is. That's where championships are. But it has to be the process first. It has to be the person first. It has to be developing the player to understand that what they're committing to is what they're committing to. And that's what we are. What we commit to, and we want to follow through with it. So that's kind of what AFC stands for. We
That's
are driven and passionate.
I mean, it's a lot of the same arguments that you have for why you don't cut high school athletics, why you don't cut college athletics, is because it teaches you there's a discipline there, there's a commitment there, there's a
Right.
sense of team there that you could lose every game, but you've got a sense of character building, you've got yourself a sense of being a better person, and it sounds like just the natural extension of those types of programs for the people that are involved and for the community itself.
Very important. We do what we do out of our individual desires, and we bring those together as a collective. Everybody has their individual goals, but they all have to involve somewhat of the characteristics of the same process, right? Commitment, desire, passion, drive, accountability. So no matter what your goal is, whether it's to play professionally or whether it's to make it through and play on your first team of your JUCO team, whatever it is, we want to help you get there. And this extends far beyond that because, as cliche as it sounds, the characteristics that you build should carry you on far beyond your playing career. As I first mentioned, very few players play professionally. The first and foremost thing you should be, thinking about is the person you become after this. Is this helping you become someone that is greater after this experience? Can you carry this on? Can you pass it on to someone else? Can you have an impact somewhere else? A lot of the time, our players find that that they stay in football, in soccer, for quite a while because they're able to find a path, a passion, a purpose within their work, within what it is they do. They carry that on. They take what it is that we bring to them, right, and what they bring to the table, and they combine that and they take it out there into the world and they want to pass it on. That's the biggest part, and we think that's huge. At the end of the day, everybody wants to win, and we want to set that as our goal. Um, and I think that those are the things that drive winning is culture, is what builds a great culture. What are the characteristics of a culture that drive winning habits? And that's what we want. At the end of the day, like you said, I'm thinking about this for a second, so I want to word it properly so I don't offend. But losing is okay. You can learn from that. Losing constantly kind of displays a certain behavior and habit. We want to steer people away from that because when you get into that habit in sport, even it can carry over to life, whether it's confidence, whether it's how you believe in yourself, right? And how it is therefore that you act upon certain circumstances that come about in the future. We want people to be able to react positively and make a very big impact. And we believe that winning is a part of that. So whatever we do, with our guys, whatever it is with the culture, at the end of the day, they will win in life, and that's a big deal for us.
Right. And you see a lot of the best teams are the ones who have that culture. You may have one season where the team chemistry was off, but they did pretty reasonably well. But over time, you can definitely tell the people who have that culture and that determination, they start to rise to the top more than they tend to stay down. And I think that's more what you're getting at is you want to see them get to that point where they realize
Absolutely.
we're rising to the top because of our dedication, our passion, our commitment.
Right, and I think you had a great point when you talked about losing. There are going to be patches of losing, and we've all gone through that. Our club has gone through that in the past. In California, in my previous 20 years of coaching, you go through those patches. Again, it's how you come out of that storm and respond. Can you shift the tide from that? And so, yeah, again, absolutely.
Yeah, beautiful. So, yeah, and we did mention you've got 20 years experience there in coaching and
Mhm.
this team specifically. How long have you been with this organization? Maybe obviously not in Omaha, but how long have you been with this organization?
Well, interesting time period. 2020 is
Yeah.
when we were founded. It was COVID times.
Hmm.
It was a little bit tough at that time for things to get going. When our organization was founded, we came about through a very unique situation. And this is one where, again, I'm not going to drag anybody into this. I have no problem speaking about this. And I think this is part of who we are. Is that when challenges hit, when rough times hit, we don't just quit. We don't give up. We have to push forward. And so when we started out in California, I was actually just moved from Omaha out to California, and I was hired on to coach a brand new UPSL team. And we were doing very well. We had been recruiting very well. We beat in our first two friendlies the previous year Pajaro Valley, the previous year's NorCal champion in UPSL. We beat them, I think, 4-1, and then we beat the next friendly 5-0. It was another team, Rush, both good teams. So I don't mean to discredit these teams. Just again, part of the history. Um, this is where everything really started to go up for us, and at that time, the owner did not realize, I don't think, how serious we were about doing things, in a particular way, and very serious about winning. And we started to win in these friendlies, and we were actually kind of just left hanging. And uh, so was born AFC South Bay. AFC South Bay was not AFC South Bay before. We had to begin within a month. We had to apply for a new application to UPSL. We had to apply for a new kit contract. We had to go through all this and that. It was a very interesting time. That right there was probably not the biggest learning moment, but one of the greatest experiences in growth that we had. It was a time to dive in, and I went to our co-owner and I said, this is and a co-owner now, but was not co-owner at the time. Someone that I was consulting with, and I said, I have this group of players. They've been training incredibly well. They've been dedicated. I just don't know what to do here. I've been ghosted. This owner is not ready to follow through with his commitment. We have a top class team. What do we do here? And the co-owner said that we should go ahead and we should follow through and we should start up this club on our own. And so here we are. Within our first season, we finished second in the UPSL NorCal, which is NorCal now. Premier was Wild West at the time, which is a fairly challenging conference out there. We had an incredible group of players. Uh, could not really ask for a better start than that. We had a great culture, and that's where we were born. From there, the train just continued to pick up speed, and we continued on from there. And so, really, again, it started from not even supposed to be a club,
Right.
not even supposed to be a club. My passion is coaching. Passion is coaching, and so that's where we're at, and that's how we ended up here.
That's that is an amazing story, especially in a time like COVID where you can't really you're not supposed to be getting together, not supposed to be able to meet, and you had all of these
Our,
restrictions, and especially in California, where
yeah.
there were a lot of things that were locked down, and the ability to fight through that and to follow your passion, I think, demonstrates really a lot of the core values that you've talked about for your club just from its inception.
No, I appreciate that, and but I will honestly say that that group of players was an incredible group of players. We were very fortunate to keep quite a few of those players throughout the years. That's something that we definitely, which is again is a big difference for us, is we're not just a summer program. When we did our thing out in California, we were year round. Our players played year round. They trained year round. They were dedicated year round. We kept those players around as much as possible because we believed in them. We believed in, the opportunities that they had in the future. They believed in the opportunities. It was great. In that moment, that very first group really, really bonded very, very well. And again, that first game, wearing masks, playing games, that was so new. It was so different. I remember spending hours driving around San Jose and the Bay Area just looking for open fields, just so we could practice. Not trying to really do anything intentionally to go against COVID, but what could we do to prepare? When we were allowed to come together and train eventually, we had to be prepared. And I was thrust in. I mean, I had been living in San Jose for probably 4 months at that time.
Mhm.
So I had no idea of the area. We had our connections with a couple coaches that we were very close with out in the area. But other than that, we were kind of, really left to grind. And those players, man, they really set the tone for us big time. It was a very challenging time.
Yeah, but again, the passion, the commitment, the dedication, and you see yourself through it, win or lose, just completing that first season,
Yes.
probably was a major win for you and the players.
It was. It was. The memories will stick forever. I'll say that the memories will stick forever. Again, I think Coach Popovich. I'm just to mention, I watch a lot of sports. I love sports. I love to take in a lot of other sports and bring that into what we do. Coach Popovich just retiring. I think as he said it. In a lot of his one of the biggest things that you take away is relationships with the players, and that really matters. It does.
And he's one of those you can see everyone from the beginning, from David Robinson to Tim Duncan to Tony Parker. No, not a single person had a bad thing to say about him. And the
Yep.
day he's inducted, they're going to be there for him. The day he's
Absolutely.
on, they're going to be there for him. And that's what we have at the end of the day, at the end of everything. It's a beautiful sentiment. It's a good thing to remember that it's about the connections. The sport is there, but it's about the connections.
Absolutely. Yep. Like I
So
said, in the first part there, the experience should be the greatest thing that you take away.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
So then, why come back to Omaha? What ended up bringing you back to Omaha with the club and all of those? If you don't mind.
Very good question. And I think that's a unique one because everybody has different aspirations when they go about what they do.
Mhm.
When we first started, it was born out of passion. It was born out of competitiveness. I'm an extremely competitive person, not because of what anybody else has to do to drive that competitiveness. That's just something internally that's an engine for me that just doesn't stop turning. And so we always look for an opportunity to compete. Obviously, in California, you have the greatest competition. At that, point though, we obviously wanted to continue to grow beyond that. Being out in California, it offers a great market. At the same time, it's very expensive. The opportunity back here in Omaha with the players that we grew up coaching, the players that are now coming up that are looking for more experiences. Just to say, when I was playing and coming out of high school in the '90s, and I know weird to say that, coming out of the
Right there with
'90s.
right
Wow.
there with you.
But yeah, but in those periods, the MLS had just started. There wasn't a lot of opportunity. I would have absolutely. I mean, I had some great teammates, some very, very talented teammates that went on to, to play professionally and do some amazing things. But for the, remainder of players that would have loved to push their competitive spirit, push their level, progress further and further, PDL and all those things had just been getting going. In this region, it was very difficult to find those opportunities. Creighton University was about the only thing, that there was. So as we look back, and I'm speaking with the co-owner, throughout this last fall, and they asked, what do you think the opportunity looks like in Omaha right now? We began to, examine it, and that was the thing is we never intended to own the team, as I said.
Right.
So we never intended to own a team. So it was kind of, it wasn't like, hey, we moved away from Omaha to start this team because Omaha wasn't it.
Yeah.
When we started this, we brought a lot of players from Omaha out to actually, and I just want to mention this. When we moved out our first season, I would like to give a shout out to Daniel Hernandez. I'm sure he'll see this. I love you, Daniel. You are a huge part of every single reason that we were who we were out in AFC. And right now, I'm trying not to tear up because actually, what that guy did was amazing for us out there. But we had Daniel move out there in our first season of UPSL. Took a huge risk to move out there. Passed up on a big opportunity down in Costa Rica, and he ended up getting a professional offer from an ISA Pro team. Was an amazing offer. Ended up having a family that was started, which is an even greater experience. So he went that route, which is fantastic. But we brought players out from Omaha. And wanted to give them those experiences. So it's not like we really wanted to, to keep it from Omaha per se. We wanted that experience. It felt like, okay, is now the right time,
Right.
right? Is now the right time. Well, there's an amazing scene, of club players out there right now. The colleges are really starting to explode, all the way from the JUCO level to the NAI to the D2 to the D1 level, uh, and not just skip over D3. All those levels are really elevating, and those players are looking for those other opportunities to expand their game, another chance to play right at a higher level. And that's where we felt it was time to go back in. We saw that there were a couple teams that were also coming in to the scene, and we felt that was a great opportunity. Uh, you know, I was told one time by a great mentor of mine that he said, "Do you know why car dealerships all go to the same area?" I said, "No." He said, "It's great for the customer."
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Why not? Why would we not want to bring more high quality soccer to the Omaha area?
Right.
There's already you have great examples of Kings. You have great examples, with Loma having done their thing in the in the Nebraska League and everything for a long time. They're doing really well with what they're doing, recruiting and setting their thing up in the MWPL. Again, you have back into the day of Bug Eaters, who started everything with MPSL, which unfortunately COVID kind of took hold of that. But it's been ready to pop off. Union Omaha has left that space now where multiple teams can come in and provide a great experience. And so that's kind of why, we said, here, let's go back, let's bring it here. Let's go ahead and, this was the roots of everything that we did. And again, not to sound cliche by that, but there was a lot of roots here and there was a lot of opportunity. And we felt like, players really wanted to take part of this. And so it was time.
Yeah, no, and you're right with all of the convergence of everything else going on here in the Midwest. You are seeing the soccer scene, everything, just all up and down this corridor. You're seeing even more stuff kick off. If it's the NWSL team with the KC Current coming down there for the women's team, you've got Ozark FC that's coming up in Fayetteville, and you start seeing these pop up, and Tulsa's starting to get in on it, and all of these smaller cities are starting to grow and bloom, and it's becoming ripe. And I think you're right. Omaha is right there in the center of all of that. With you've got an opportunity and you've got a market, and why not give the consumer choice, give everyone a chance to see what's going on in all the different clubs. So I really like that perspective. So with that, then I'm going to assume the relationship between you and Lenoma is actually pretty good. Then
It is. It is. Jordan and Mark have done a great job of setting up things over there and communicating with everybody. The league in general has done a fantastic job, and that's what we want to see. When it comes to, and I think these are probably going to have some some things to do. The fans are going to be very interested in some of these things. We want the fans to come out and see some fantastic soccer. All right. We want them to come out and enjoy what we have to offer as a community. The players are going to compete on the field. It's our job to give them the best opportunity to do so. And that's what we want to provide, right? There's nothing that either of us want to do to take away from that opportunity. If I may, and I've never sensed that. And that's the best part of it is that if you can come to our home field and have a great experience, fantastic. Our fans should make it challenging for you. Our
right,
players should make it challenging for you. Our organization should make it a great experience for you and the fans, and vice versa. And I think that's what we've gotten out of the organization so far, all across the league. Again, Mark and Jordan have been fantastic to work with, for sure.
right. And talking to Mark Jordan and Harry and all of those guys over at Lenoma,
Mhm.
they're saying the exact same thing, right? Is that they are definitely fans of the rising tide raises all ships, and making
Bingo.
sure that everyone is on board, right? And those are the best kind of rivalries. Is we're gonna beat each other up for 90 minutes on the pitch, and then we'll go have a drink of choice in the parking lot afterwards, and say, "Man, that was a great game." And
I believe that's the best way to do it. I love, again, when it comes to the kind of game we want to see. We want to see great tactical play, great technical play, intense physical play that keeps it within the bounds, and then at the same time, anything that needs to be handled off the pitch, right? We take care of that. The competitiveness goes on the pitch. Afterwards, we're all the same people. There's not much difference. We get on the pitch, we can settle it there. Afterwards, like you said, we're all in this for the same reason. We have a deep, sincere passion for why we do it, and I think that's great.
and I think that's gonna come out when, especially the first couple of times you guys meet and we finally get to see some home matches with you guys. I think that's gonna come out in the fan base, and I think it's gonna come out, in the respect that you guys are gonna have for each other, as you get out there.
Yes,
I can't wait to see that. I can't wait to see it.
I'm
Um,
super excited. Okay.
so yeah, you mentioned tactics a little bit there, and, without giving too much away, kinda, what can we really expect out of your teams, and, what kind of formations do you like to see? What kind of, style of play do you like to see?
Well, in terms of what we expect from other teams, we usually see a lot of video from other teams previously. Right now, we have a couple new teams in the league, so it's going to be very interesting, about what we see. The good thing is that we focus very much on what it is we do. A lot of the things that we cover and what it is we do tactically cover our bases no matter what the issue is. Meaning that we have a problem that arises and it's unexpected, we have a solution for that already because we've already kind of broken down what the solution to those problems are. And so when it comes to whether or not you play a 4-3-3, whether you play a 3-4-3, 4-1-4-1, 4-2-3-1, whether you defend in a 4-4-2 and you transition into another, none of that is really of much of a concern until we see some patterns.
Right.
And so, the style of play overall, what we want to see from the game itself is that we would like to see some fast pace. We would like to see some good technical control. We would like to see some goals in the back of the net for sure. A lot more for us than the other team. And so we'll say that for sure. We certainly pride ourselves on being disciplined on both sides of the ball. And in terms of energy and passion, we want our team to exude the absolute utmost energy and passion on the field. When it comes to conditions, when it comes to anything externally, we don't want to be rattled by that. We want our team to go out there with a ton of energy, a ton of passion. We want our fans to feel that. We want that to be felt throughout the stadium. That when you're there, that you feel like you truly are watching a professional match.
Right. And yeah, and that's one of the things is that, what you don't wanna go into it thinking is that, these guys are younger, these guys are a bunch, so they're just gonna sit back in a compact defensive and only play counterattacking ball or, not really be able to push forward because they get so risk averse, and so to hear you say
Right.
that you like the pace and the attacking play that you wanna see, yeah, you may give up a couple of goals, but hopefully you score more than the other guy type thing, um, while
Well,
they're while
I'll be. I mean, to be honest, we expect to be a team that gives up very few goals. And we don't want to talk about expectations or results, but that's just how we train.
Right,
When it comes to when it comes to that being, just a race, a horse race, not necessarily. Again, we expect goal differential to be in our favor.
right,
If you expect to be one of the top two teams in the league, that excuse me, then goal differential should absolutely be at the top, should be at the forefront there. There's not going to be very many teams. I think I looked back at the table in Premier League about 2 months ago, and I looked at Nottingham Forest goal differential, and they were one of the anomalies, right? And then they had that burst of that. What was it? A 6-1, 7-1 win, but they were very low. I think they had maybe a +6 as a third, right? As a third ranked team. I mean, to be third in the league in Premier League and be a +6, I mean, there was five other teams below them that had better goal differential. And so we expect that what it is we do on both sides of the ball is we defend very well. Our energy comes from every single bit of play.
right,
Just because you play a low block, mid block, this and that does not mean that the energy is not there. I think today's Champions League semifinal was great evidence of that, right? Right?
yeah, yeah,
That, you know, again, it comes down to the passion. It
right,
comes down to exactly how hard are you willing to work for 120 minutes.
right,
And,
and
and that's it. And so it can be that it's a 4-0 game. We've won games 10-1
mhm,
and we've lost games 3-1, but we don't want to go up and give up 5 goals and have to chase that down, or really even give up 3 and chase that down. We want to defend with passion, hard-nosed defending, very concise and very organized, and then once we win the ball, though, we want to get after it. We want to score goals.
yeah,
That's the, I mean, isn't that the idea, to put the ball in the back of the net a lot more times than the other team does? So
absolutely, and I have been told that it is the hardest thing to do in soccer, by a coach who used to be here in the area, is the hardest thing to do is put the ball in the net.
it
And
is.
I guess more to the point is that, you want to see the good defensive play. You don't wanna just see, well, all we're gonna do is
Abs-
risk averse, and all we were gonna do is be compact, um, because that
Absolutely.
if you
It,
can't
it,
do both, are you really at a professional level of play if you can't do both?
exactly. And that's important for us, is not just us, but what the fans and the community see. It's part of the reason that we're back, is that what we want to deliver, in terms of what everybody sees, is an example of organization, an example of good, defensive construct that as is at the next level. It doesn't have to be one or the other. And that players at this level can play above what is the expectation of this level. Again, having, your back line and your front line stretched out 60 yards, I mean, it's great for goal scoring, but it does no good for the image of the game, right? At every level you go up. And there's moments for that to happen. But at the same time, what you should see is a good back and forth, right? A good fight. You want to see 3-1. You want to see 2-0. You want to see goals in the back of the net, but you don't want to see, poor play. Just absolutely people only attacking. That's
Right,
all they care about. Yeah, we want to bring a complete game to the table. Absolutely. And we believe that, honestly, that the entertainment value of what we have in terms of the level of play will 100%, 100% be there.
and that's what we're looking for, right? Is we're looking for entertainment. We're looking for showing off those professionalized skills, and that's what
Absolutely.
people. That's what's entertaining. So
Yes.
I can't wait to see if that comes out on the pitch and how it comes out on the pitch here as soon as we get a
Yes.
chance to see you guys' first game here in a few days. But with that, there's been talk. Are you aware that you guys have actually been picked to finish first in the league by two or three of the people that follow the league? Midwest Premier League recently put out an article about that, and a couple of three of them actually had you guys poised to take the league or the conference at
No,
least.
I like that. That's we look at that in a certain way. If you're talking about marketing and things like that, that's fantastic, right? That's great to see. In terms of expectations, no one should have greater expectations for us than ourselves. And so, if that's a surprise to us, then we're not coming with the right mindset, right? And we don't set that expectation in terms of, hey, we don't even talk about championships. We talk about preparation. But expectations mean something. It means people believe in you. It means that there's something, a higher calling to shoot for, and that's really kind of what we pump into it. It's not necessarily, hey guys, let's ride this out. Hey, club, let's ride this out. It's that, hey, there's expectations, gentlemen, but are those expectations any different than what we have of ourselves?
Right.
Absolutely not. And so, we don't argue with the other three pundits that
Yeah.
didn't pick us. Fantastic. Cedar Rapids won last year. We want that. We want that. We want every challenge, possible. When it comes to that though, like I said, it comes down to preparation. Anybody can say whatever they want, and we do respect and appreciate the pundits giving their viewpoint that that we would be the team, and we appreciate that, and we want to deliver on that 100%. But again, it's got to be for us. It's got to be the team has to want it, the club has to want it. There's no external motivation to winning, and I hope that's what the fans want, is that the players want to win for the badge. They don't want to win because someone else said, hey, oh, now we believe.
Right.
Now, we believed way before that. We believed way before that. And that's not being arrogant. I hope every team, I hope Lenoma believes it. I hope Cedar Rapids believes it. I hope Pearl City believes it. I hope Warriors believe. I hope every single team sees. I hope every single team believes it because we want their best. What would this league be without everybody's best? And so, for us, it's just, hey, did we raise the bar for everybody else? Is everybody else now licking at their chops? Are we now a target? Fantastic. Let's get it. That's what we want. So other than that, it's game on. It's just a prediction. For our guys, it's just, hey, you know, do we expect it of ourselves? Absolutely.
I love that mindset because again, sharpens steel, and that's what you want in this league. Is if you made it through and they were all cupcakes, what did you do? But if you made it through every fight, then you fought, and you can hang your hat on the fact that we made it through, and it was no walk in the park. And I think that's what every team wants. No team wants to just be handed a trophy. They want to go out and feel like they earned it.
You,
You know.
you couldn't have. I could not have said it any better. You said it exactly how it needed to be said, Tim. There. Nobody wants it the easy way, and if you do, this is not the league for you. From what I can understand, these owners, these players, these teams, these coaches, they all want to win this championship. The teams down in St. Louis that are in the other division, the team in Columbia, AFC Columbia. Shout out to Zach who helped us get in the league. Love you, Zach. But these teams, they we want to see them in the championship, right? Like everybody wants to. We all want to get at it together because it's a competitive nature, and that's what we hope for. Absolutely, everybody's best shot.
And with any luck, I would assume some designs on the U.S. Open Cup and the amateur qualifying at some point, maybe.
Yeah, we're looking at the schedule there, seeing what it is. To be completely honest, is that the landscape is a little bit different where there's a lot of college players, right? A lot of college players. What you will have to do for a good Open Cup run out here is going to be a little bit different from an amateur team, right? We're familiar with Farolito, right? We've played Farolito. We know them, their owner very well. They you know, again, they have experienced high level professional players that have come down and, continue to play at the level. They take it very seriously. Their history is long. So that's an anomaly, right? And not to say that they haven't done that before. It's an anomaly just across the landscape, right?
Right.
And our hopes are that a team from this area, no matter if it's us or somebody else, makes a run, right? Makes a run. The greatest thing that could come out of that is a Union Omaha Derby, right? No matter who it is, we would love to see that. The great challenge is going to be putting together that team because there's a lot of college players right now with these leagues just coming about. It's stirring the spirit of players that don't play college ball or did and are now coming back into the scene. So we're gonna have to see how the summer goes and how everything goes for everybody and see. But there could be realistically maybe three amateur teams, maybe all, four or five amateur teams from Omaha that go in if everybody wants to. But it could be a very, very exciting 2026 Cup season. Very
That
exciting.
that would be great. All love to Des Moines, but we don't wanna see them one more time. It'd be nice to
Right.
guys, right? And
Yeah.
get somebody fresh and somebody new there. But it
Yeah.
that is the expectation of that the amateurs will get together and somebody will come out of that and somebody will make that run, and it's because you guys have all made each other better and ready for that run.
That's the best point. Yeah, that ending that you said right there. Like I said, steel sharpens steel, iron sharpens iron. You want everybody to make each other better, and I think throughout this summer, the kind of inspiration that's going to be provided from this level of play is going to be great. It's going to spread the landscape. It's going to inspire other players that maybe have put the boots away for the last 6 months or so. Hey, come back into the scene. This is a great opportunity for it. And really these qualifying rounds that the US Open Cup has with having 3 to 4 qualifying rounds now that you can make it through is amazing. So yeah, we are looking forward to the opportunity. I think every team in Omaha is looking forward to the opportunity. Hopefully, again, it doesn't matter who. Hopefully, one makes it through and we can get a first round matchup next year. That'd be
Yeah,
fantastic.
I would love that, and I will be right there. Front lines as soon as it happens. I'll
Yes,
be right there with.
yes,
So, we'll switch tracks a little bit from that
yeah.
because, you've mentioned the badge a couple of times, and, you've got a pretty good color scheme. I love the red, blue, and yellow.
So I
Can
think
you
I'm a little out of
yeah,
screen. Yeah,
can
sorry.
you walk through a little bit of the crest, what some of the symbolism of the crest is? How'd you come up with that crest, and what's it really mean to you and the players that have worn that badge?
Well, it's fairly subtle. If you look at badges traditionally, like when you're wearing, 80 to 100 years behind it, right? There's community, all these things behind it. We wanted an identity at the same time. There was some tradition we wanted to keep within a badge, which is why you'll see the kind of gold cresting around. We think that provides a great traditional look and honor to the tradition of the sport and the badges of the sport. And that was kind of our contribution to that to the sport is to keep a more traditional badge in terms of as you'll see, the feature here is a mountain lion. Previously with AFC South Bay, our badge was the bear. And we had the bear for the identity of California. We wanted to make sure that there was something there that was going to connect us. Uh, as far as community, we wanted the community to be able to kind of bring that up, to bring about every other tradition that we involve. So as we changed over, we looked at again what kind of kind of cliche, but what kind of spirit animal can we adopt? What kind of animal in the area, can we adopt? Mountain lion has always been, an animal in the area that has been, fairly prolific. And, I've always been very curious, of the mountain lion, sightings in the area. One of the animals that I think is very resemblant of what it is, how we feel spiritually as a pride, as a pack, right? And so we felt that the mountain lion was, the best animal to replace it with. And so that's why we went with that. We wanted to carry over the badge. That was something that was very important to us. because of tradition. Again, going back to our AFC South Bay players, we want them to be recognized. We've already had players who know players down in Los Angeles who have had those players call up and say, "Hey, that badge looks a lot like the AFC South Bay badge."
Mhm.
Fantastic. Well, that's great for the recognition of the Omaha players. But what it says to me is that our AFC South Bay players set such a tone and made such a mark on what it is they did in their time with us that we they should be honored. We want them to be honored, and so we wanted to keep the traditions of the badge, the color, and all that as much as we can. We felt that the animal, because it was with the bear in California, we felt that that was the one that we could look to exchange. We felt again the mountain lion was the best to identify with. So very
Yeah,
simplistic. At the same time, for us, it's more of an internal meeting, and that we hope that in the future the community can bring more contribution as much as they want to the meaning of the resemblance of that.
right. And sometimes simple is great, and it's a very good looking crest. It is identifiable. It does have the highlights, and you're right. The fact that people said, "Hey, wait a second, wasn't that South Bay?" I mean, South Bay is never going to be forgotten as the root of this club, and the history that went through. And absolutely, you should be proud of that. And I think you've done a great job carrying that forward into what this crest is. Almost your spiritual animal, your ancestors, and all of it, kind of all being in that one piece of it. So, well done on the crest.
Appreciate that.
I do like it.
Well, just to mention, you saw today from the Champions League when Martin scored the goal, and I can't show you enough photos of our players after scoring goals and after games doing that. I mean, you can go to one of our videos on Instagram and you can watch it. Our Nice Independent Cup game from 2022, where those guys Angel and Christian came up, and again it goes back to the passion of it. The badge is great, but what does it mean to you? What does it mean to you? I mean, do you hold it close at night? And so that's what we really want to matter. But yeah, it definitely means something. The badge, I'm really appreciative of you bringing that up because the badge means something.
I'm always happy. The That is the first thing that people see, and that is the first identity of a club. So I love the story, and I love the way you've put that together. So
Thank
as we
you.
start getting towards the end of this here,
Mhm.
what are some of the final thoughts? Some of the things that you really like to leave everyone with about AFC Omaha and the club?
Well, more than anything, again, this is greater than AFC Omaha. We want AFC Omaha. We obviously would love to see all the fans at our games. But this is about bringing, again, a very entertaining, fulfilling level of soccer to the community. We want fans. I was talking to my players today in our chat about this, that if you're not watching that game and smiling ear to ear, then you don't love this game. I don't care who you're a fan of. You could be a Madrid fan and hate Barcelona all you want to. If you're not watching that game and smiling, are you really a fan? You know, we would love to see everybody at the game. This game is for everybody. This game is for all fans. Wear whatever color you would like. Just come out and enjoy it. That's what we want. Come out and enjoy the level of football. Our players are giving everything right now to entertain you, the fan. I can promise you, everything twice a day, 4 days a week. We're in technical sessions in the mornings, team sessions at night. Man, these guys are ready to bring it for you, Omaha. All right, come out to the games. They want to show you something. It doesn't matter if you're rooting against them, for them, whatever. Come enjoy it. We want to see you there. It's for the community. It really is.
Everything is about the community, and I absolutely appreciate that. And yeah, I am a confirmed Barca hater, but I could not hate the goals that went in and everything else. Like that was such a beautiful game,
I know
because
you love the result more than anything,
the
but
game is beautiful, and it's
right,
that is as it is. So
it
again,
is
Pat, thank you very much. We've got you at what AFCOmaha.net is where you are on the web. If people want to find more information about you guys, Instagram,
correct.
Twitter, where are you at?
Yeah, we are on social media there. On most of our work is on Instagram. We have our YouTube channel, which we're
Yep.
going to be live streaming everything on, as well as Huddle. We have a fantastic live broadcast that's going to include a very, very talented John Schreiner as
Yep.
our
Yep.
play-by-play. We're very excited for that. He does amazing work. We have some amazing things planned for the stream. And so if you go to Instagram, you go to our website, AFC, like you said, AFCOmaha.net. You're going to find all our ticket sales, all our live streams there, roster, anything you want to know about the players. And so we would love to see everybody there. Again, if you would like to follow up on anything for tickets, if I might mention, we do have some amazing ticket deals going on right now for our season ticket sales. We are offering that if you buy your first season ticket at the regular season ticket price, you will receive up to three more for four at the discounted price. Again, we want to give value for the customer. We want the fan to come out and see the games. Anything that we can do to provide anybody with a great experience, please, let us know. We want this to be about the fans. If there's something you want to see at the games, let us know. We have some great surprises for everybody. But check us out again, AFC Omaha on Instagram,
Yep.
AFCOmaha.net. And again, if I may, yeah, I would just like to give a brief thank you to all our sponsors. Brazen has been fantastic. They do wonderful work out there, big supporters of the sport. I'd like to give a big shout out to Viva Fit Kitchen. They're helping keep all our players fueled. Alejandro does a great job with everything over there. Rotellas, they do wonderful work over there. That's historic 100-year-old bakery that's been supplying Omaha and the nation with great bread for a long time. And then also Yano's Nursery, Joey Basso. Thank you very much, Joey, for all your support. Yano's Nursery has been doing fantastic landscaping work in the Omaha area for 40 plus years. Please check them out. Without those companies, without those people, without the support, fans and everything, what we're doing, it really doesn't meaning. Without everybody there, without all the support. So thank you very much, everybody. I really appreciate it.
Yep. And just further proof, it's all about community. The community come together to do something great. Pat, thank you again for coming on and talking to us, and good luck in 5 days. We'll be watching.
Very excited. It's going to be our away game, Warriors' first game on Sunday. Please feel free. We're going to go ahead and share their live stream as well
Yep.
from Warriors, and then we'll have our live stream up as well there. So please feel free to check out the game. And then May 24th, we'll see you for our season opener.
At Morrison and AFCOmaha.net. Check out the hype video because that was a very well done.
AFCOmaha.net. Yeah, we got a lot more. We got a lot more coming. We got a lot more coming. We've kind of been holding back on some of our media stuff, getting some of our guys in and everything, but we got some great stuff coming. Thank you, Tim. Really
Hey,
appreciate it.
thank you very much, Pat, and good luck.
Thank you.